Alright guys, welcome back. This is the next one that we're working on. This is a Kitchenaid Model 4C that come in to get, obviously it's missing a foot, it come in to get a complete restoration, and this one is going this color right here. It's called Flame Red. It's a really bright red color, and it's going to have, the white accessories on it, and this part will be polished up. But I think it's going to look good when it's done. And let's go ahead and plug it in. Let's see if this thing works, which I'm assuming that it does. Yep, it works. I'm sure the grease is probably all nasty in there, but it is what it is. It's all going to be changed anyways. So let's start by checking our brushes here. That's why I can see if I got to order anything up or not. Alright, the brushes are a bit worn. Not too terribly bad. Let's take our speed control off. And now we can take our screws out of here. Let's take a little chrome cover off here too. A little cap that goes on. There's one screw. I don't really want to stick to my magnet very well. Alright, let's see if we can get this off now. Something down here jamming it up. There we go. Alright. I'll get that off. Pull our pin out of. Leave that pin sit for now. Alright. I'll have to tilt so you guys can see this. This says 464 up here. I'm not sure if that's manufacturing date or not, but that's kind of neat to see that on there. And you can see it's kind of dusty in there, but not too terribly bad. Hope you guys can see that anyways. Alright, I gotta get underneath here, pop a screw out. I got a little shorty screwdriver for that. Alright, catch the screw that holds this back cap on. Yeah, there we go. You see there's quite a bit of flour buildup in there. Wait till you see this. Look at that, this thing's seen some use, huh? Look at all that. It's crusty. Yeah, this thing's definitely seen some use. Alright. Well, anyways, I think I'm going to start taking stuff apart on the back here, and then I'll move around and take the gearbox and planetary off. I'm going to get all my wires out here. Nice thing about Kitchenaids is everything in here is color coded. Blacks to blacks, red to red, and yellow to yellow. Well, easy to unhook everything. Let's see if I can locate my spring in here under all this this flour dust. Oop, there we go. The spring is off. Loosen up our little lock nuts here. Can't even see down in here. Yeah, she's crusty, alright. Oh, this will get cleaned up and polished up and be like new when it goes back in. Have to clean this up really good and take a look at the contacts on it, make sure they're still intact. I'm sure that they are. Alrighty. Let's get everything off of here. Our little capacitor. Hard to find part right there. And this speed control plate and the contacts are up underneath this little paper cover here. Like I said, we'll have to get that cleaned up really good. Let's take a little flyweight off of here. Oh! You know, somebody was asking me, how did I pop these off with my bare hands? And usually they just seem to pop right off from me. There we go. I think if you pull it at the slightest angle, it's not going to come off, but if you can pull it straight back, I think it'll come off. And that seems to be, you know, not bent or anything, so I have to clean that up. Get this little pin out of here. There we go. Alright. Different screwdriver. Pull this resistor off here. Yeah, gotta get this all cleaned off too. Alright, that's pretty much all I'm going to take apart from back here for right now anyways. I'm going to come over here on this side and we'll take our planetary off and then this gearbox cover, because this is always a tricky one. If this one don't come right out, I'll pull armature and everything out and then we'll have to heat this up and see if it comes out easier that way, because a lot of times you get, you know, you're in this little gap which is super tight there. It's hard to believe anything can get in there, but you'll get stuff in there that'll solidify and lock it in there and make it impossible to get out. But if you heat it up, it softens all that up. Slot of the screw is packed with all kinds of stuff too. Screw and all the washers are locked together with a bunch of funk. Alright, let's see. Get our planetary out. There we go. Alright, there's the planetary. Looks pretty nasty inside of there. Ancient grease. That needs a good deep clean. Get our pin out here. Now, the pin seems to have so much funk on it that it don't want to move either. So I have to get a little help. There we go. Alright. All my tools are going to end up nasty after this because just because of all the crap that's always in these Kitchenaids. You gotta expect to get dirty when you work on one of these. Dirty and you know, greasy, grungy. If you don't like getting that stuff on you, you can always wear rubber gloves. It doesn't bother me. stuff in these screw heads though is solid. Look at this right here even. This is old grease that has to be chipped off of there. Look at that. I could peel it off in big long strips. That's pretty bad. Alright. Now, not so sure this is going to want to come out straight away. Yeah, I ain't gonna want to move. Alright. Move my screws. Alright, let's cut the inside of this thing. Make sure you guys can see here. Tough to get a good angle. Yeah, this thing is definitely done a lot of baking. It'll be nice to make it look good and run great and able to bake for a lot longer. These are pretty stout machines. These are actually, see if this says the wattage on here. I don't know. Look on the plate here maybe. It's under somewhere. Can't really see right now, but I'll get it for you later. Alright, pull our screws out. See a lot of carbon on the threads. Which is actually, you see all that carbon there, that's what's worn off of the brushes. Alright. I have so much debris in the way in this thing. That's definitely not a job for those neat freaks, those people that can't have dirt touching them. They would not be too happy at all about working on something like this. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull this out. I see the armature is going to want to come out with it, so we'll just go ahead and do what it wants to do here. There we go. I guess the armature got held up by the lever there, so we're able to pull this out. You see how much carbon and crap is in there. But we take these screws out and get that all cleaned up inside of there. Get it lubed up good. Put back together. Alright, now let's get this armature out of the way. You can see, surprisingly, I mean, there's no wear on there. I mean, it's dark, but there's no, in between the dark and the shiny stuff there's no lip on there. So we just have to basically clean and polish that. Alright. Let's see if I can get this ring out. Man, look at everything just coming out nice and easy. Get to our cord connection. Hopefully. There we go. There's one. Yeah, this one is, it's in there. I can't seem to get to that one right away. Maybe it's on this RF filter here. Yep. There's RF filters holding it in there. Get that out of here. That can get pitched. Now disconnect our other cord connection. Alright. We've got 2 screws here we got to take out for this armature, and I believe one of these leads goes to the one brush holder, and this lead from the switch goes to the other, and coming out of the field coil is a lead that goes to the switch. So I think that's the only thing that we'll have to disconnect before we pull this field coil out. There's a wire nut at the switch. Been a little while since I did one of these, so I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I see a wire nut right here. Alright. Now, once we get this cord completely out of the way, should be able to just pull that field coil right on out of there. Just gonna cut this. I'll be replacing this cord. Give something a little bit longer. It ain't very long at all. Alright, oh, my little plastic piece fell inside. Let's go ahead and pull this field coil here. There we go. There's our field coil with our 2 black and white. I mean, look at that. Even this is color coded black and white for your cord, black to the power switch. It's not a very big field coil for the size of the machine. Alright, I got to take out the clips off of these that go into brush holders. There's one. And then the one that goes to the switch. There it is. Alright. We are definitely getting there. Got some set screws for the brush holders. I'm talking you guys through this because I know you can't see inside here. So I figured I'd just show you what I'm doing. The brush holders are tight in there. Most of the way out. Don't worry about the rest later. Take out our switch. Yeah, see, everything is kind of sticking here. Just because of all the grunge built up on everything. There we go. There's a whole switch. The spring is still hooked to it. Get that all cleaned up. Alright, so now we've got all the electrical stuff out, minus the switch, which I'm going to pull right now. I'll be able to safely take the heat gun and heat that gearbox cover up. I hate doing that when there's, you know, motor parts inside of it still. But sometimes this is what you gotta do. I still can't get these brush holders to move. think it's just because of all the flour. You get flour and carbon mixed together with a little bit of oil. And it just makes a cement. Alright, there's one. Let's work on this other one here. I'm going to say probably the part that was exposed on the inside there probably had a layer of it on there. That was holding that up. Alright, there's our switch. Alright, spin it back around to here. Make sure you guys can see. Yeah, you can see sort of. Let's go ahead and heat her up. Watch, you probably see some grease starting to come dripping out. But we don't need to get it like super hot. We just want to soften up everything that's holding it in there. We're not trying to expand metal on here to move this. Like I said, just soften up the stuff that's got it stuck. With this old stuff is softening up any. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit. Still kind of crunchy though. But you can see there's some liquid here starting to cool off. We're getting something warm. Let's check it out. Oh, sounds like I got a dumpster getting dumped out here. I'll be right back. Alright, just did a bathroom remodel and got it done in a week's time. Started out as a floor repair, and next thing you know, we're ripping out drywall and everything else, and whole new sink and the works, and got it done in a week. Doing all this, you know, doing this work and then doing that at night and then on the weekends. So it was a stretch, a lot of late nights and whatnot. But I have a dumpster full of all the crap out there that they were just dumping, so I had to go take care of that. But anyways, I got to heat this up again here because it's cooled off. And it's coming slowly. Looks like a nanometer at a time. There we go. Oh, and then it just, of course, jumps right out. But anyways, there it is. There's the bottom of the gearbox cover. Looks like the grease inside got a little soft, but not nearly enough. I gotta get something crappy to throw all this grease on. Man, there's so much much grease. Alright, so I dropped the blob here. Oh, it's still rubbery. See, there's some chunks falling out. Look at that. That's bad. So basically this thing was running with no lubricant because there's nothing good about this grease on here. Alright. I don't know if I can give you guys a view inside here. Not sure how well you can see up in there, but it's packed full of nasty grease. So maybe if you guys can, you guys don't mind me working sideways here and get some grease off, some of this grease off my tools. I'll just scrape the grease out like this, so you guys can see what comes out of here. I'll move some of my parts over. See, can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can sort of see. Look at that big solid clump. So there's most of it in one screwdriver full. Look at that. That is nasty. Trying to scrape out as much of this as I can here, and then I'll get the rest of the gears and everything out of here. These are a little different than the bigger machines. Look at that pile of grease I got going here. The PTO gear is a bit of a pain to get out. This grease wasn't too bad to get out, except for it coming out in chunks and the grease being bad itself. I mean, if this was the grease in decent shape, it would have been much harder to get out because we'd still be having to do a lot of scraping and everything. So, alright, let me see if I can get this out all in one shot right here. I'm not sure if it will or not, because I know down at the bottom there's a pin in there, but alright, nothing really wants to turn too easily on here either. There we go. Alright, we'll just pull the gear and the bearing out first. Alright, there's the gear, there's the bearing. And let's see if this shaft will come out. Alright, I'm gonna wait till I get this separated from there and then I'll pull that out. I got to put my greasy parts here in something so I can take them out to be degreased. Let me see if I can find a box or something. Everything's got to be degreased. I'm going to whip it right into here. And this too. That at least gets that out of the way. Let's take this big ball of rubber, because that's basically what it feels like now. It's just rubber. Get that out of the way. Alright. I'm going to drive this pin out here. there's that little plastic piece for the cord. Alright, that came through the bottom. But anyways, I'm going to drive this pin out here. That way I can take this head right off the stand. Well, it's moving. It's not very quickly. There we go. I can get cleaned up. And now I can separate these. Alright. Let's take this bottom plate off here. Seems pretty stuck on there too. Alright, on here, all I got left is I gotta pull these feet out of here, take that plate off, and of course the spring steel in here. So I'm gonna do that a little bit later. I'll probably just do that off camera. Right now I just want to concentrate on getting Lassie's gears out of here. And this one right here just goes down into a hole, but it seems to be in there pretty good. And I can move it back and forth, but it's not pulling straight out of the hole. So I have to try to get a grip on it and pull it out, because it's kind of hard when it's greasy fingers and all that. There we go. Alright, there's our piece. We've got this washer on here, but there's a pin that goes through there, and it should just pop right out of there, but it was kind of glued in there with that nasty grease crap, so it's out now. So now we got the PTO gear on here. Make sure there's no washer set on that. Okay, and that doesn't even really seem to want to turn very well. And we got to scrape some chunks of grease off of there too. There's still some chunks in here that I gotta get out. And I gotta clean that off so I can see where the pin's at. There's a pin that holds that PTO gear on. Everything seems to be crusted over. I just gotta chip away at the grease under till I find that pin. Alright, I see it right there. So here's the PTO gear that goes to the square drive shaft in the front. The shaft goes through the middle of this gear, and right here is a pin that's got to be driven through. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, once you get it so far, you kind of have to rotate your gear around because it'll hit the bottom. So before it does that, you just want to rotate your gear around and then get to a point where you can pull that pin out. There, you can see, once you punch it most of the way through, it usually pulls right out. Alright, now that's half the battle. This square drive piece is usually stuck on there pretty good, so we're going to try and get this out, turn it and bring it up. But I've got to get it to rotate on that big gear there, so what I'm going to do is, not on the teeth, but on the round part of it, I'm going to clamp it off with these vice grips. And I got to find, so I'm going to turn that width there. Usually once you get it to where it'll turn on that gear, then you can start to pull up as you turn. There we go. And eventually you can pull the whole shaft out. Alright, and you can pull the gear out as well. I really hope that caught on camera there. But anyways, that gear's out and it needs to be degreased big time too. You see everything is dirty and covered with grease. These Kitchenaids, you got to prepare for that when you're working on them. They're like that every single time. And sometimes there's a little pin here that I don't want to lose. Sometimes this little pin that just basically it's like a centering dowel or alignment dowel. Like this one just pulled out. Sometimes it'll pull out. Sometimes you can, you can't get them out for nothing. But I don't want to lose that, being that it comes out so easy, so I always check, and if they pull out, I pull them out. The only thing left on here is this little cover on the front here, which usually just pops right off. There we go. And then inside, you see there's 4 screws holding that bearing cover on that bushing. So you take the 4 screws and brass plate out, and then you can take your bushing out. Alright, I'm going to dump all the parts out here. Okay, screws come out. There's the cover that holds it on. And the bushing. Alright, so that's pretty much stripped down and ready to go now. It's going to have to get degreased, and then we'll get the sandblasted along with the other parts. Get everything powder coated up, and we'll come in and we'll put everything back together. So when I get to that point, we'll come back. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so we got this one all wrapped up. This is the Kitchenaid 4C that we did in flame red. That's the color the owner picked out for us, flame red. We polished up the handle and this part here. And despite what they look like, you know, when you get them, they look like they just need a polish. These actually have a very light layer of chrome on them, covered with a clear coat. And the clear coat on chrome makes it look a little cloudy to begin with, but over time the clear coat, you know, it ages and you know, gets scratches on it and stuff, so it starts making it look worse. So we had to remove the clear coat and then just polish up the layer of chrome that was on here. And we also went through and did the lettering on it. Let me tilt so you can see better. You can see we did there where it says Kitchenaid, we did in red, and then all the lettering we lettered in black on there. So that looks kind of cool. Everything has been completely gone through and polished up and cleaned. We packed it full of new grease, got everything lubed up, and I did have to change the speed control plate because this one wasn't quite working, and when I open it up I can see the lower contact on the points there. I'm not sure if you can see it in here. So there's a contact on this little plate here, but where it touches down there is almost completely gone. So I replaced the speed control plate with another one I had, and now it seems to run fine. So let's go ahead and turn it on and give it a listen to. It still has a little bit of a skip on speed too, but this thing goes at a steady speed, and you can see the flyweights back there. They kind of bounce up and down. I took those out, I cleaned them, and I sprayed some lube on them, wiped them down really good, and put them back on there. And I don't think the flyweights are really bad on there. It's just I'm not sure why. Every other speed it goes good. But you get to 2, you can hear a little skipping. But as soon as you get past it, it's fine again. So there you have it. This one's a wrap. We're going to get this one packed up and ready to head back to the owner. And then we'll start on the next one. I got to get my greasy fingerprints off of here. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified when we post more videos. And as always, we will see you on the next one. Thanks.